Hello world, it's me, Ken Simmons. I'm back with you again. Too bad, that's the way it is. I told you I'd be back. How you feeling? Yeah, I woke up this morning feeling a little, I don't want to use the word depressed, a little down. It's a rainy day, it's foggy, it's humid. I woke up kind of a little depressed. The monologue today was going to be about, remember now, I'm from a different era. I'm from a whole other world. I'm a walking history book, as are most people my age. I was going to talk about dance places that used to be around this area, where we used to go as kids and dance to 40s music. I'm wondering, what do the kids do today? Do they have those kind of places like the Canoe Club, and Broad Cove, and Little Egypt, and Mosley's on the Charles, and the gem of them all, the totem pole at Norumbega Park? That's what I was going to talk about today, but I'm going to put that off to another time because I have a rave that I want to talk about. And the rave is about Area 58 and its people. I've been asking to do a tour of our studios and our monitors and our computers and our students and all that, and the people that work here. I can't seem to get any place with that. So let me tell you, the guys and girls that work here are top shelf. I kid about it. We have a crack staff. I saw one the other day counting to 3 and he got the first 2 numbers wrong. That kind of thing. It's not true. They're brilliant guys. They're creative people, very creative people, and they make me look good. So what I wonder about is I keep issuing an appeal for people to come down here and take the course that they offer for free. Or get your own show together like mine. I've got a magnificent forum here. I can say anything I want. They've never said to me, you can't say that. Never. Never, 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 never. But I did want to give a big, fat rave to Rich Goulart, who is the executive director here. He's the boss. And I'm not going to name everybody else. Come down and meet them. And by the way, he's the executive director, and all the way down to the guy that sweeps the floors. They're all great. And by the way, executive director and floor sweeper sometimes are the same person. Yeah, the cameraman's shaking his head up and down. I've got a guest today that I think are going to be very interested. He needs really no introduction. A great guy. He's a merchant. And as you know, I'm on a quest to see if we can improve the merchant's bottom line here by even a few percentage points. But in any event, I want you to get to know them. Because you live in Carver, you live in Plimpton, you live in Halifax, shop in Halifax, shop in Carver, shop in Plimpton. Give the merchants a break, because they'll do anything for your business. I mean, anything legitimate, of course, anything legal. They are great, great people. Again, though, I have to give this disclaimer. We do not endorse or do we recommend any service or product you may see on this show. That's an Area 58 thing, I think, store-wide. But before I introduce you, one more thing about Area 58. There are 2 guys on, Larry Erickson, Donnie McKeague, who do shows that I think are equal to anything on the networks. If you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself. Now, Larry is a bit to the left. Donnie's a bit to the right. Interesting marriage already. And they research. They are so articulate. The show is fantastic. Larry's show is called
What's Left.
What's Left. Donnie McKeague's show, The Donnie McKeague Show. He also does a radio show. He's a broadcast professional for over 20 years on the radio down the Cape. I think his call letters are 95.1. I'm not sure of that. Tune him in. They're on around 7, 6, 7, 8 o'clock every night. Give them a shot. You're going to be amazed at what they say. You don't have to agree with them. You probably won't. But they do a great, great show. Okay, enough about Area 58. It's a great place to be. Tune them in. Channel 13, that's where we are now. Channel 14 for the educational channel. Channel 15 for the government channel. Watch them. We do our utmost to bring you the best programming we can. Going to introduce you to my guests now. Don't go away. Pour yourself a favorite beverage. Kick off your shoes. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I told you, I warned you, I threatened you, but I'm here anyway. Want you to meet my guest, but before I do that, I was over to Shaw's earlier this morning, and there was a guy there that stopped me, grabbed me by the shoulder and stopped me, and he said, "Are you Ken Simmons?" I said, "I am. Are you the FBI?" He said, No. He said, "I come from Randolph, and I used to see your show over there." I only tell you that, I'm bragging, of course, but I tell you that because it's kind of a thrill to have a total stranger come up, grab you by the shoulder and say, "Hey, I saw your show." I said, "By the way, how'd you like it?" He said, "I thought it sucked." But other than that. Anyway, I want you to meet my guest. He needs no introduction, really. He's been in business here for a long, long time, and he's going to be in business for a long, long time more because he's got children now in the business. And his name is Ron Delano, the owner of the Carver Jewelers. Hi, Ron.
Ken, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming over today.
Absolutely great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a lot in common, besides our age and good looks. Number one, you've got a beard similar to mine.
I sculpted just the way you sculpt yours.
Well, flattery is I mean, what is it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Right.
I'm going to get used to talking once I get used to it. Thank you very much. How long have you been in business here?
We've been in Carver for 32 years now.
32 years.
1987. I don't calculate very well that way.
87, I said 30. Is that 30
Yeah,
years in
30
my
years,
book?
yeah.
Wow. Were
Yeah.
you someplace in business other than Carver?
I started the business out in Boston. Originally, my dad was a jeweler in town,
Oh.
and I used to work for him, and we became partners. And then finally, not finally, but my father had passed away in 1981, so I took over. And I commuted to Boston from Carver. I lived in Boston and in Carver all those years. So we commuted, and I got tired of commuting, so I said, I think I'll open a business in town.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
So it's I'm a mile from work, so I can walk it if I have to.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
it's great.
beautiful.
It has been great
Yeah.
to be that close.
Are you a Carverite? Were you born here?
No, I was born in Dorchester.
Dorchester?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'm a Dorchester boy.
You're kidding.
Savin Hill.
Seven Hill.
Yes.
You know, I'm expressing surprise because Dorchesterites, my mother was born in Dorchester.
Yeah.
Dorchesterites have a different
Yeah.
look or attitude.
Well,
or-
you're on this side of Dorchester Ave, or that side of Dorchester Ave.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Or
Yeah.
One of the parishes or something like that. We're
Well,
all brought up.
You don't mind if the people get to know you just a little bit, because there's
No.
probably some people in town that are not familiar with you. And remember, we go all over the world with this, so you may get a
Really?
customer from Japan. Who knows?
Well, that would be very nice.
Wouldn't that be nice?
If they fly all the way over, I'd be very happy, and I treat them really well. But yeah, no, I do know a lot of people. I am associated with the American Legion in town also.
Okay, well, I want to get into that in just a minute.
Yeah.
You're married,
I am.
children,
43 years of marriage, one child,
One child.
with 3 grandchildren.
3 grandchildren.
Yeah,
Wow.
my son works with us in the store.
Yes, he's now a partner or an employee.
Not really. Just he's my son. He's an employee basically, but he's a great jeweler.
Is he?
Oh, he's picked it up really well. Everything I taught him and more that he's learned himself. So he's really a good jeweler. Very meticulous.
I want to get into that a little bit too, but before that, when you were younger, and as a matter of fact, you still play the drums. Am I right?
I do. Yes, I play in the praise band at church. Only on Sundays. I gave up playing out because I just didn't want to carry a set of drums anymore.
When you know, I play the drums too.
Yeah.
A few people don't know. And when I was younger, I had my own orchestra, 20-piece orchestra.
Wow.
And we recorded some stuff, believe it or not. Was home recordings, but
Right.
was nothing by Decca or Columbia or any of that. But
Four-track
we did a song called Sing, Sing, Sing. Have you ever
Oh,
heard
my
it?
gosh.
Benny Goodman?
Who hasn't?
It's a classic.
Yeah, most of these young drummers today probably don't know it, but a lot of them do.
We got the, I've got the disc in my car, if you'd ever like to
Wow.
hear. The disc is 65 years old now.
Wow.
We started out on wire,
Right.
then went to tape,
Yeah.
then went to disc, and it's scratchy as heck.
Yeah.
But you can hear me playing the drums, and I
No
was
kidding.
pretty doggone good, I want to tell
Wow.
you. You know
Wow.
what's something?
I played that song a couple of times myself.
Can you do a one-handed roll?
Not good. Not anymore, anyway.
I've been practicing that for, I think, since the day I was born.
Uh,
And I get to a point where my hand starts to go limp.
well, Buddy Rich was a champ at doing
Oh,
that.
he was the best. He was the
One-handed
best.
rolls, yeah.
Gene Krupa
Yeah.
was my hero,
Mm-hmm.
but Buddy Rich was a better drummer.
Well,
Do you remember a guy by the name of Chick Webb
oh, of course.
before Krupa?
Studio drummer Chick Webb. Yeah.
And you know why he started playing the drums? Let me tell you.
Okay.
When he was a kid, he had scoliosis of the spine.
No
He was
kidding.
kind of bent over. He
Mhm.
couldn't walk well. His doctor said to his mother and father, get him a set of drums, have him play the drums. And that, it didn't cure him,
Right.
but it helped him to
Helped
get
him
along
loosen
in
up
life.
and everything, yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Chick Webb.
But getting back to Sing, 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 when Benny Goodman played that in Carnegie Hall
Mhm.
in 1938, he was being recorded and didn't know it.
Oh, wow.
And his daughters knew he was being recorded, so they took the recordings home, and Benny forgot about them for 12 years. And then he resurrected them, and
Yeah.
it became a hit all
History,
over again.
Yeah. Well, it became a movie, too,
Yeah,
when they did the Benny Goodman
it
story.
was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Now, when I've said this before, but that orchestra that he had was Benny Goodman,
Mm-hmm.
Gene Krupa on drums, who had his own
Right.
orchestra later,
Yep.
Harry
Harry
James on the
James.
trumpet, who had his own orchestra later,
Right.
Teddy Wilson on the piano, who had his own orchestra later,
Yeah.
Lionel Hampton on the vibraphone,
Oh,
who
yeah.
had his own orchestra later. So,
Wow.
I got to tell you a quick story. In Randolph, I'm going to say 10 years ago, 12 years ago, they had a bunch of guys that used to play in the big band.
Mm-hmm.
They got together. There was about 25 of them. And they played in the town hall, and they were rehearsing, and I knew they were rehearsing, so I went to see them. And I talked to the leader. They were very good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I used to play the drums. Oh, and he said, I suppose you want to sit in. I said, could I sit in for one song? Not a set, just a song. Sure. So we get the rug. Come on down here. What do you want us to play? I said, how about Stardust? He said, Stardust? That's like a lullaby. Drummers don't play to that. I said, well, I want to start off slow. So anyway, I went up there. When I got all through, I came down. I said, what'd you think of that? He said, that's got to be the worst drumming I've ever heard in my life. Okay. Talk about you now.
Okay.
I understand that you have an electronic set of drums.
I use electronics now.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to carry them around.
Is it as good?
Well, the sound is all pre-recorded sounds of samplings of drums, so you can type in whatever drums you want to play.
Oh, okay.
You can do rock and roll, you can do jazzy stuff, you can do, Latin American style with congas and everything else.
Wow. Do you have
So
a kick drum with it?
Oh, yeah.
A hi-hat?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you have both. But they're pedals, they're electronic pedals. But you can use headphones or put them through speakers and hear everything that's coming through. Just like a regular set. A little smaller, a little quieter if you're practicing at home.
Has it got the same bounce as a Skins?
No, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not quite the same response, but it's
Expensive?
good. No, I don't think so. They're $1,500 a set, which a regular set of drums is $2,000 anyway, I would think.
Yeah?
Yeah, a set of Tamias or Gretsch or any of those drums would cost you $1,000.
My last set of drums cost me $200. They were Slingerland. They were
Yeah.
Slingerland.
Buddy Rich drums.
Buddy, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking with Ron Delano, owner of Carver Jewelers, and we're going to talk more about jewelry. I just wanted you to get to know a little bit about what a really nice guy he is. So we're going to take a break here. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're talking with Ron Delano, and during the break, we talked a little bit about drums and a little bit about various activities that he's in. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of superfluous stuff. I want to get talking about the business, about jewelry business, because I love jewelry. I love jewelry, but I know very little about it. But Ron, I understand you have something to do with the American Legion. I almost said Foreign Legion, but that's not true.
Well, no, I'm not in the desert anymore. But no, I'm a commander of the Legion post here in Carver, Julian M. Southworth Post. And it's one of the oldest posts in the country, actually.
Really?
It's a small group. We don't compete with anybody else like the Plymouth Post. They have a lot of guys there, but we do scholarships every year for high school seniors, and give a scholarship every year. We sponsor Boys State. And we've had terrific response from the juniors that go to Boys State lately for the last couple of years. They've been excited and impressed, and they've made a lot of friends, and they've said that they might like to get into politics. I don't know if politics are the way to go today. But
I'm not sure of that either, but yeah, I know what you mean.
They do express a continuing thought of education and politics.
You're talking about Boys State.
Boys State.
What does that have to do with the Legion?
We sponsor it. We pay for the boy to go.
Okay.
And we pick an exceptional junior student every year. We've had Girls State also. A couple of girls have gone in the last couple of years. We've sponsored those as well. So the post itself sponsors them and sends them out to one of the colleges where they have a Boys State and Girls State.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. These veterans organizations do a lot of good. They don't get enough credit.
People don't know about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hopefully they will now.
Yeah. Well, you know, the veterans who've already paid the price, still paying the price, and gladly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to talk a little bit about jewelry now.
Okay.
If you've got a wedding coming up, or birthday, or an anniversary, or a bar mitzvah, or you just want to tell the lady that you've been married to for a long time, or you want to tell the guy you've been married to for a long time how much you still love them by way of a little piece of jewelry, here's the man to see right here, Ron Delano. Are you a gemologist?
I'm not a certified gemologist, but I've been doing it so long that.
What does a gemologist do? What's the definition of what's his job description?
Well, a gemologist will look into a stone and see the crystalline structure of it, and they'll be able to tell whether it's a sapphire or an emerald or a topaz or something like that, if it's precious or semi-precious material. And they can do that with rough material too. Gemologists do that, and then they send it to a cutter, and the cutter cuts the stones.
Can you cut?
No, I don't do that. I have somebody in my store that does it, though, in the back room.
Really?
Yeah, I have a gemologist and a stone cutter, a gem cutter.
Can he cut diamonds?
He's an award winner. Now, diamonds are a different story. Diamonds are generally passed down from one family to the next, and it's usually done in Amsterdam and New York and places like that. A lot of the diamonds are cut there. In Canada, now Canada has a tremendous diamond mine, and they have a lot of cutters right there at the mine. Canada
has a diamond mine?
Oh, Canada has one of the biggest and the nicest diamonds come out of the Canadian mine.
Really?
Yeah. If you have to ask for it if you haven't seen a commercial on it or anything like that.
I haven't never heard of it.
Yeah,
when I think of diamonds, I think of Kimberley, Rhodesia.
Right. Africa.
Cecil Rhodes.
Yeah. De Beers and all that stuff.
De Beers, yeah. He's head of De Beers, or was, till he died, I guess.
There's still family involved in De Beers.
I thought they still controlled all the diamonds in the world.
Not anymore.
They used to,
but they don't control all of it. They control probably 90% of it now, and the other 10% is through the other freelance diamond miners and stuff like that.
When I was a kid, Ron, friendship things were a big thing. You
Mm-hmm.
want to go steady with a girl, you gave her a friendship ring, not an engagement ring, but a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still popular? Do they still have those?
Not as popular as it used to be, but it's still available. I mean, I get that every once in a while, but teenagers generally, what they do today is they buy a game.
A game?
Yeah, they buy an electronic thing or a gadget or something like that for each other. They
Well,
don't spend money on jewelry.
I guess there's nothing wrong with that because
Right.
times change.
Yes.
Times change. But when I gave my girl, who later became my wife, the engagement ring, it was an amethyst,
Yeah.
and it was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere after we got married, somewhere along the line, we did business with a company called Rom's
Jewelers
in Brockton. And I was going to tell you a story, but I don't think it's fit for me to tell that story on the air.
Okay.
I've just had a change of heart on that.
Okay.
Because they did very well by us.
Mm-hmm.
They made one mistake, and I don't need to publicize that.
Right.
This is not a commercial station.
Right.
Is it expensive today, a 1 carat diamond? I suppose it depends on what level you're talking about, right?
Well, the thing about diamonds is you have to, when you're buying a diamond or you're looking for a diamond, you have to decide whether you want something that's exceptional clarity and color. I mean, you can buy a 1 carat diamond for, they advertise it on TV as for $900 or $1,900. You're not going to get a nice diamond. You're going to get a diamond that's got a lot of carbon in it, a lot of flaws and fractures and things like that. A really nice diamond is going to cost you $3,000 today, starting at $3,000
For a carat.
For a carat.
Yeah.
For a decent stone.
Include the setting?
No, just the stone. And the settings today run anywhere from $350 for a solitaire ring to $1,500 to $2,000, sometimes $3,000 for a ring with multiple stones in it.
You sell diamonds?
I do.
Yeah. What other
Okay.
stones do you sell? What are you have
Oh.
rubies, sapphires, all that?
Tanzanite, rubies, emeralds, sapphires, citrine, precious topaz, pink tourmaline,
Wow.
green tourmaline, all pretty much the spectrum of stones.
Okay. Now, what else do you sell? Watches?
I do sell watches. We carry Luminox watches, Navy SEAL watches, very solid, sturdy watch.
You've got a Navy SEAL watch on right now.
I wear one constantly, all the time.
Waterproof?
Waterproof, good for swimming.
How long does the battery last?
Generally a year to a year and a half, maybe. Most watches that have batteries last that long anyway.
Since you've opened the door on pricing, what would that cost if I was going to buy a Navy SEAL watch?
They run $375 to $1,500.
Guaranteed?
Yeah, 5 years.
5-year guarantee? See,
Right.
a 5-year guarantee for me for 5 years,
Right.
you know, I'm not sure I'm going to be here in the next 5 minutes.
By that time, you're going to want a new watch anyway,
yeah, you're right there.
or a sundial.
You also do repairs.
Right, we do excellent repair work. There's 3 of us in the shop that do repair work.
3 of you.
Yep, there's
Wow.
me, there's Heidi, and Lyle.
Heidi is your daughter-in-law?
No, she's just a friend that needed a job, and she had worked in the jewelry industry before. And she's very capable of doing any kind of jewelry repair job.
If I bring something in that needs to be repaired, what would need to be repaired? A clasp, maybe?
Prongs or sizing of a ring or something like that.
Okay.
Or fixing a bracelet that's broken. There's all kinds of
Do you
repair
give an
jobs.
estimate?
Always. If somebody asks how much is that going to be, it's going to be anywhere from $10 to $350. Just depends on what it is. We replace stones. We do prong work and everything else that goes with it. It's pretty neat work. I mean, you have to be able to work with small stuff. It's
You've been doing this how long again?
over 50 years myself.
Over 50 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I started in 1964 when I graduated from high school.
Just for the edification of the viewers out there, are you planning to retire anytime soon?
I am sort of retired.
Really?
I've slowed down quite a bit, but I'm trying to stay active and busy in the business just to keep myself busy, rather than sit around the house all day long.
Yeah, my advice would be if you're going to retire, don't retire from something, retire to something.
It's not a
And you've
stren-
already got it going for you.
Yeah, it's not a strenuous job, and it's inside, so I don't have to worry about
That's
winter
good. That's
and
good.
heating and air conditioning. So
Although I've seen this guy out there on a
Shoveling.
snowy day shoveling snow in front of all the stores.
right, I used to do that job at one time.
Did you really?
Yes,
Yeah.
But no, it's not a strenuous job. It could be stressful at times, but not bad.
If you had it to do all over again, would you go into the jewelry business?
Yes, I would. Yeah, I'm third generation. My great uncle was the first one that started us off in the business. His name was Edward Everett Oakes, and he's got stuff in the Museum of Fine Arts right now. There's pieces of his jewelry that's in the Fine Arts collection.
No kidding.
And he started out as a member of the Arts and Crafts Society of Boston. And his shop, my father went to work for him. And when my father came back from the Navy, from World War II, my father went back into the jewelry business with another guy, and they became partners. And my father kept going with the jewelry repair side of it, where Oakes was the manufacturing side of it, custom work only. So
Well, you're pretty well-rounded.
we have some lineage, and we've all learned how to make the jewelry that Mr. Oakes had made at one time. It's not popular right now. It's 1940s, 1930s.
Yeah.
So it started off in 1929 and continues to this day. And my son is the fourth in the generation, and there's a couple more. I don't know if they're going to manage to go into this. I hope they find something else to do.
Why?
Well, it's I don't know. It's just one of those businesses that's slowly but surely cutting back.
You think so?
A little
Really?
bit, yeah. Yeah, the big stores kind of push everybody out.
Oh, yeah, that's why I say, if you're going to buy a mitzvah or an anniversary or a birthday, and you're going to think about a piece of jewelry or a watch or something of that nature, go see this guy. He'll do the best he can for you. I guarantee you that. I'm going to repeat what I said at the beginning. We do not endorse, nor do we recommend any product or service, but we leave it up to your own good judgment to go in and see a nice, honest member of your community. I mean, he's going to do the best he can for you, and he's going to tell you whether you're doing right or doing wrong. Now, he told me off camera that you can buy a Rolex, for about $1,500. I didn't know that. I thought they started around 10 grand, $10,000.
No.
So all I'm saying to you is, you got something to buy, you need a gift, you need something special, go see Ron Delano or Lyle Delano or Heidi Boardman, and they will take real good care of you. By the way, he told me to tell you that if you mention this show by the end of September 30th, say, I saw you on the Ken Simmons show, he'll give you 10% off anything you want in the store, including repairs.
Correct.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to buy this watch for $1,500, you're going to save $150 right away. Not bad. I just gave you $150. Think about that. Mm-hmm. Anything else you'd like to say to the people before we quit?
No, I can give you a little factoid thing that I try to do whenever I'm doing a commercial or a TV thing or something like that. But 59% of the gold mined in 2016 was used in jewelry manufacturing.
50%.
59%.
59%. Wow.
$129 billion worth of gold was put into jewelry and was mined.
Wow.
They paid 159. It's a crazy amount of gold.
Wow.
If you take the amount of gold that's ever been mined, you take a room 50 by 50 by 50, a cube, it would fill that room. That's all the gold there is ever.
Wow.
In a 50 by 50 by 50 room.
Holy mackerel. Isn't that
Crazy.
something, huh?
Yeah, if you packed it all in there.
What is gold selling for now? Do you know?
Gold is right now about $1,250 an ounce for pure gold.
Wow.
It's up from when I first started out in the business, it was $35 an ounce.
Makes a guy wish he bought a few Krugerrands.
It was a long time ago. If I'd have known.
Yeah.
But you can't bet on that.
It's the old saying.
A hedge.
If only I knew.
Right.
If only I knew. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Thank you.
Again, go in and talk to Ron Delano, his son, or Heidi Boardman.
Yep.
And they will treat you like real people. So remember now, 10% off by September 30th. Mention the Ken Simmons show. I think that's it. My next guest will be next week. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You know why I don't tell you who it is? because sometimes they don't show up, and then I got egg on my face. I hate to have egg on my face. I want to thank Ron Delano
It's a
for coming
surprise.
over here today.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you, Mr. Delano.
Appreciate it.
And I hope your business flourishes because of this segment.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be back, and I'm not going to tell you who my guest is, but I'll guarantee you he'll be interesting, just as all my guests are interesting. Till we meet again, keep a song in your heart. Talk to you later.